Good afternoon and welcome to a Wednesday weekly online tutorial by me, Diane Alberts with Design with Diane, a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator. And I've collaborated with my friend Jeannie, and we are making a once a week class to help showcase all the different products that we have. It seems like they just keep coming out with more and more, and we can't keep up with it with our regular classes that we have. So we're going to add a weekly online class with an option to get those kits that I use, all the materials like this, ready for you to recreate the cards either using the beautifully celebrated stamp set and dies bundle or what you have at home. We also added in, because there's only 3 sentiments on this one in the beautifully celebrated, we decided to add a family celebration, which is full of all kinds of words, and it's both in print and in script. So in order to get the free cards, and I'm going to turn my camera around in just a minute, which means you get the free card kits, let me say, it's any purchase of $50 or more in my online store, Design with Diane. So I'll put the link in later. And so right now we have 4 cards using these colors. This is what would come to you. These are all set and ready to go. We're going to flip the camera around. I'll show you the cards and we'll get started. So thanks for joining me. And if you haven't already, like my channel, follow my channel, and even share my channel. I'm really trying to grow. This year, I'm just taking a step to make sure I can really put a little big push on my business. So any help I can get is wonderful. So let me go ahead and turn this camera around, put it into the cradle. Let's see how close or far away I'm going to be. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see if I want to go down a little bit more in here. Thank you. All right, so we'll get some of the stuff out of the way that's distracting. Well, here's the 4th card we're going to make. It's a happy birthday friend. Uses a touch of the gold. That's one card. Here is another card, which uses the really cool technique for the bracket layering dies would be correct. That's the other card. So that's a day to remember. Great for a wedding or graduation. Let me pull out these other ones. Whoops. This is another fancy fun fold card using those layering dies to create a card base. This is the one I made for a Mother's Day card. And then finally, it's time for a celebration, or this calls for a celebration, excuse me, is our last card right here. And we're using the, I hope I have been, oh good, the pearlized faceted gems are what I'm using. So we're gonna be using those today. And like I said, a family celebration. And you don't have to have these or buy these in order to get the free kits. You can use whatever you have at home. It's any purchase of $50. If you need to stock up on cardstock and adhesive, that counts, and you would get the kits mailed to you for free. And then these are the matching dies. Okay. Oh, we did do a little bit of ribbon. These are the 2. I'm not sure. This one was out of stock until May 4th, and I did not check this morning. Sorry. So I need to do that. So I'm going to see if I can make sure any comments are coming through. I can answer them on my iPad. All right. I don't know. It seems a little dark. I hope it's not too dark on my camera. It doesn't look like it. Not too many shadows here. Let me get some of the stuff out of the way that's falling all over. And I think that's it. Yeah, those are it. So let's get started. We'll start by making this card. Let me grab that kit. Now, I just had all those kits right here. Now they've gone away. Let's see here. Here we are. Let me push that to the side. Okay, so we're going to start with a Calypso Coral card base. And I'm going to fold it in half. It will be already pre-scored for you. I mean, we just found that there's just so much that Stampin' Up! Has to offer that we can't keep up with all the in-person classes and etc. So we're decided to put on a weekly class so that you can see all the wonderful products we have. Empty out all my contents. All right, I want to make sure. Yeah, I did. I need to find that little stamp. There it is. And I need, did I use Petal Pink or Calypso? Calypso Coral. So I'm going to use Calypso Coral. And I'm gonna start with my insert. I like to just get the insert taken out of the way and then put in there because you wanna get started. Whoops. So we're gonna take the Calypso Coral. I'm gonna put a little stamp here in the corner, and there's something on my stamp. There we go. And then we will also do it on the outside envelope. I'm gonna do a generational thing. There we go. Okay, so that's with that. And now we'll set that aside. We'll glue in our insert. I think this is such an elegant, and I didn't have a chance to do it for any classes in person, so I think I've done it a couple times with some swap cards and other things that I've had. Okay, so now, where's my petal pink cardstock? Oh, there. Oh, we need white. You need a second piece of white cardstock, and we're going to use the Memento Black, and we're going to use the sentiment. This calls for a celebration, and we're going to be using this stamp, and we're going to stamp all the way across. So this is the same size as an insert, and I like this little technique. So you're going to take this piece of petal pink, and it's going to be right here, okay? So we want all those flowers to be coming out of the petal pink. So let me show you. I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm just going to kind of run these little light lines here, okay? Little light lines right there. And let me grab my slot here just a second ago. Here it is. I think it'll show up better on my silicone mat. Let's grab the big, very big. I had to use a block eye. And we're gonna have to ink this up with the Memento Black ink. And I'm gonna put this, I want to get a little more on there. Oh, I hope I don't have too much now. Center it at the top above the pencil lines, but not going off. So this calls for a celebration. There we go. And it looks a little blotchy. I'm not sure why. I think it needs to be seasoned better with my chamois. I'm looking for my chamois. There it is. Well, it looks fine on the one I did for the sample. It just looks a little more blotchy on that one. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just the way I inked it, or maybe I re-inked my ink. So then we're going to go ahead and take this floral die that we use, the sprig, and we're going to use second generation. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp and then stamp off and then stamp up. Then stamp low, and then we're going to stamp off and stamp up high, stamp off, stamp low, stamp off, stamp high, stamp off, stamp medium. Just because. All right, because we can, and we're going to do that. And so let me close up these inks, and I probably should grab that chamois again and clean these inks. I tend to forget to do that until the end, and then I'm like having to clean them all, and I don't want to get ink on anything. So let me just clean that off and set it over there. And now we're going to take that petal pink. We can first, if you'd like, don't forget you can erase those pencil lines that you made. And now adhere your petal pink panel to this focal point panel. And then we have a beautiful piece of this paper. You have to decide. I think I like it this way. Yeah, I do. I'm going to do it this way. Because say sometimes there's a direction, but I think it looks better this way. I mean, it could go this way too. No, I'm going to do it this way. It looks better with the purple flowers. You have to decide. Now this is like 1/8 of an inch smaller all the way around. And before we attach this to the front of our card, we're going to take this gold and white trim and we're going to flip this around. And what I do sometimes is I put a little bit of a piece of in the middle just to hold it right there at the seam. And that's is that a little high? I'm gonna come down just a little bit more. I wanna see those flowers we did. And then I flip it over, and then I grab actually tear and tape to hold this down. I can get it started here. Come on. There we go. I'm gonna split this in half. I'm gonna fold this over, and I leave that other backing on. It's just like a quick Scotch tape, and I just feel it's a little bit easier sometimes. Okay, then you just have to make sure you get it straight. There you go. Okay, there we go. And now we're gonna take our card front. Go ahead and, oh, I'm out of adhesive. Good thing I have a backup. I always have a backup. All right, and we're gonna put that right here in the center of this card front. And quick as that, we have our first card done as soon as we add some bling. So we'll add some bling to this card. And I've been using this. These are those pearlized faceted gems. I've been using them up so much. So I'm gonna grab a few of these, and I'm gonna put, oh, I don't know, one up here. And I'll put a little one too, like going that way. And I'm gonna put like 5 on. So there's 3. I'm gonna come down here, 4, a big one. Maybe over here, and one more clear. There we go. I just sprinkled them around. And of course, you wanna make sure that's straight. There we go, card number 1. Hi, Carol. Thanks for joining me today. This is card number 1 of Beautifully Celebrated on my new 3rd episode of Wednesday weekly online classes that are free. Helps me have an opportunity to show you more product, and I just love the gold in this. So there's the first card. Okay, let's move on to card number 2. Card number 2 is a fun fold. When I saw these brackets, I knew, or brackets, I should say, these beautiful dies, layering dies, I knew I wanted to take them, they kind of look like a bracket, and make it into a card. And so what I did is, let me grab my card, is I made a traditional base. And I actually made 2 to show you something. So I took a traditional card base, and right at the fold, I just barely put over, and that's probably why I had that out. I'm gonna show you. I had a layering die out. And there they are, right here. Let me grab one. Just to show you, I used the largest one. And when I put it on, if you could see, I pushed it over a little bit so that this did not cut this little section there. I hope you can see that. So that when you opened it, it's adhered right here on that original card base score line. So just take like a traditional card base that you have, and then I wanted to show you the other one. I thought, well, I would try and see what happens if I do it with a little bit larger. Hi, Nancy. A larger, I guess, spine or to this, but it didn't look right. So in order to give it the same bracket looking feature, you really didn't want to use this bracket or this layering die and push it this far up, because then it's just not gonna look right. So you just play around with it. I mean, I'm sure these 2 are a little bit different. Let's see how big how close I got them. Yeah, they're about the same. I don't know, it's just a guesstimate. So just put it on your regular card base and then slide it over. You can see there's a little bit of a gap, and that part is not gonna be cut right on your score line. And that's how I made that fancy fold. So, and you don't wanna do it too much, because then it's gonna look, in my opinion, I don't care for that. But if you want more stability, you could do that. I just think it throws off the dimensions of the card myself, but to each his own. So let's go ahead and make this cute Mother's Day card using the Beautifully Celebrated. Let me get all my parts out. I've die cut a sprig in gold. I have an insert, a layer, and another layer, and let me see. I say, gotta be more in here. Another sprig and a sentiment label. So used a lot of these layering dies. So let's get started. As you know, I like to go ahead and I put a little green sprig in the inside. So let me grab my old olive. And we're going to go ahead and stamp right here on the insert. And you can decide whatever corner you like. I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it over here. For some reason, I like it over here. All right, and then you can sign Love Diane or whatever. All right, we'll leave that open because we're going to use that in a minute. I'm going to wash this off. So I don't know if you've ever made a card with using special shapes. I have to say it's kind of new to me. I think I did it one other time. And so it was time for me to do it again. Why can't I pick this up? All right, let's put some adhesive on my insert. And line it up. And then we're gonna make the front. So in order to do the front, I'm gonna put this beautiful paper. It's called Lovely and Beautiful. It's befitting. And we're gonna put this right here. I love the fresh freesia. And then we have the layering. Oh, look at mine's got a little something on it, but it doesn't matter because we're going to do a little bit of stamping on here. So same thing we did last time. We're gonna do the second generation, stamp off, and then I'll stamp up here, cover that little splotch. Nobody will ever know. And that's kind of giving a little image to highlight on the sentiment. And then the sentiment is to my mom. Let me see if I've still got that mounted. Here's mom, I have that mounted. And then to my is right here. So let me clean this stamp off. I was just using it. So with this particular stamp, we're going to use the fresh freesia. And I'll show you, it's a trick. It's not really a new trick, but something that's kind of clever. We're going to take and only ink up. I'm going to turn it upside down. I'm only going to ink the words to and my, even though this is happy birthday to. So I'm going to just take my, because of this particular stamp, which is part of the family celebration, which is around here somewhere. It has happy birthday to my is all one stamp. But I'm going to break it up and use the word to my. I did not have a stamp set here in Florida that had anything to do with Mother's Day on it. I was surprised. So to my, and then I'm going to take that word mom, and I'm going to ink it up in the same fresh freesia right over. Oh, I want to try it one more time. I want to make sure it's all inky. There we go. To my mom. And now it's just a matter of putting everything together. So let's go ahead and adhere our label onto our mat. So I'm making 4 cards today with the Beautifully Celebrated. This is my week 3 of doing online free weekly classes on Wednesdays. So it's a way for me and Jeannie to help get out more card ideas, more exposure to some of the new products that we just don't have enough time. Stampin' Up! Is just cranking out so many wonderful products that we can't keep up with it. So you're gonna take your ribbon and you're gonna take about 12 inches, here 11 or 12, doesn't matter, and grab your ribbon scissors, and I'm gonna cut this. And then I'm just gonna wrap it around my fingers, like so. Okay. And then I'm going to flip this over, put a little adhesive on, and which direction do I want it to go? I want it to go left or right. And you're going to have it peeking out underneath. And now we're going to take, oops, we need a little bit more. All right, Stampin' Dimensionals, and that will also hold them in place. I'm going to put on the sentiment, and then we'll tuck in our gold sprigs. I love using the gold foil. I realized I was low on gold foil down here. I know I got lots more at Michigan, I'll put that right in the center. Okay, and then I'm going to take this sprig here, tuck it in, and I thought this time I would do 2. I'm going to see what you think. I wasn't sure if I should have 2 or 3 of the gold sprigs, or 1 or 2, I should say. Let me get that in there. Gotta find a tuck spot. There we go. And then we're gonna grab our faceted gems again. And I'm gonna use mostly the ones that are kind of iridescent, not really with the calypso coral in them. And I'm gonna grab, let me see here. I'm gonna grab 2 big and 2 little. So I'm gonna put a big one here. Actually, I'm gonna do this a little different maybe. No, I'll do 2 big. I'm gonna do 2 big over here, I think. Maybe 3 big. Watch this. So far to the top, it's gonna bother me that the big one's not gonna be right. So I'm gonna put 3 here, and then I'm gonna put 1 little one at the top, which is different than I did on this one. On this one, I did 2 smalls and 2 big. Doesn't matter, whatever works best. And there we go. So my question to you, before I read what Nancy wrote, I see something came through on the top of my camera. Just a minute, Nancy. Do you like the 2 sprigs or 1 sprig? I have an opinion, but I'll wait to see. And I have 2 Mother's Day cards. I think my girls would like to have them so they can just hand it to me. Just kidding. I know my daughters are so sweet, and they do watch my my Facebook Lives. Is Jeannie on your team? No, actually, I met Jeannie. Good question. Jeannie and I met when, like 2018, 17, 19? No, 19. In 2018 to 2019 through a training that we did. And we were on the same accountability team, and we became good friends from there, and we've been friends ever since. And we see each other at conventions, and we collaborate on things with our team for team engagement. So many of you who are watching this that are on my team, Jeannie is Jeannie Nilsson from Boston, and she's the Stampin' Jeannie, card lady. She is just the sweetest person, and she asked me to try this, and I thought, well, let's do it. So we're on episode 3 already, and let me know. So yeah, Jeannie's just been a good friend that I met through my training to become a better demonstrator. So there, thanks for asking, Nancy. So which one do you like better, 2 sprigs or 1 sprig? That's my question. So, all right, that's 2 cards done. All right, so we're gonna pull out card number 3. Now this was kind of different. Oops, there's a little bit of a, I gotta tell you a funny story, a little sidebar here. I'll wait till it comes up. Look at what happened to my glue dots. Somebody named Oakley, who's chewing his bone underneath me right now, decided to chew it all up, and this is all I can salvage. And so some of them are exposed, and I keep finding different, so yeah. Thanks, Oakley, for chewing my nice roll of glue dots up. And so this is all I can salvage. So I'll have to open another one when these are done. But anyhow, this is our next card. It was a nice card that uses those layering dies again with a few pieces of sprigs and a little stamping on the inside. And I'm going to show you when I pull out my kit, you'll see. I left it there on purpose. So here was the second to the largest on a 5 1/4 inch, and I centered it as best as I could. And I used this masking tape. It's by 3M. You just have to pull gently. It's pre-positional, so I'm gonna stick it right here on the camera bar. And that's how I decided to make like an overlay, okay? So then we're gonna put this back in the dies so we don't lose these beautiful dies. And what was fun is, as gorgeous as this is, you could use this on another card, but look, when you flip it over, you can put it inside and you get a little contrast here. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna take that big leaf, we're gonna do some stamping, and I know where my big leaf is, right here. And we have Calypso Coral. And we're going to take our insert and our envelope. I'll get my envelope there. There's my card base. And I'm just going to ink this up. Piece of ribbon fuzz there. I'm going to just put some on the corner here of my envelope. Set that aside. I'm going to also do it. My card goes like this. So in the landscape, I'm going to put one right here on the inside of my insert. Hold on, we're not done with that. So we're going to make the card base. Get some things all ready to go. And burnish it with my bone folder. There it is. And then we're going to add the insert. That's just my silly thing. I just like to have less things on the table while I'm creating. And then we're going to go ahead and we have to add some interest on this piece here. So I don't want to ruin it. So I'm going to just take this off and I'm going to ink up my Calypso Coral. Now, if I did this, it would be quite strong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the second generation. So I'm going to come over here, stamp off, and then on an angle, stamp second generation. So it's a little bit lighter, but yet it's not inhibiting to see what we're going to put on next, which is the sentiment. See what you don't want to do? I got ink on the back of my card. Oops, I got to close the ink up. And then we're going to grab my crumb cake. And we're going to put this back inside. And the reason I say back inside, I'll tell you, I made a mistake on my sample card. I'll show you. But I wasn't super straight. So I'm going to put it back in so I can make sure I get my sentiment straight. Little tip there that I learned by making my first card, and I'll show you my card in a second. So, and then, wait a minute. Is this what we're doing on this one? Yes, a day to remember. And there we go. Well, I probably should have put up a little higher, but that's okay. And then if you look at my other one, it's not bad, but I feel like it's going uphill a little bit. So use that little tip. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this overlay. I'm just going to put some adhesive in the four corners. So if you're liking these cards and you want the free PDF, you can place a $50 order or more, and I will send you all four of these kits, and you can use whatever sentiments you have at home. You don't have to buy the Beautifully Celebrated or a family celebration. You can stock up on adhesive, cardstock, designer series paper, whatever it is that you need. And once you spend $50 in my online store, I will send you those four kits to make these four cards, and you can add your own stamps to them or use, if you happen to have the Beautifully Celebrated. Let me get that out of the way so I don't get that. Now with the sprig, the white sprig is awfully big. So I'm going to trim off the bottom here, and on my silicone mat, I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the tail, and I'm just going to poke this up a little bit. Yeah, I figured I had put it up too high. There we go. And then we're going to take the gold leaf, and we're going to put a little adhesive on that as well. And we're going to tuck that in. I'm going to go over top. I'm just going to roll this like this. Let's see, where am I going to do this? I think I'm going to go right here. I think I want it to go this direction. So we're going to tuck it in. Like that. And then you're going to take that striped ribbon I was talking about, and you only need maybe 4 inches. And you're just going to take that striped ribbon, and you're going to tie it into a little loose knot. And this is where I get to use those wonderful glue dots that Mr. Oakley, my puppy, see if I can find one on here. Oh, here's one sticking to my nail already. We're gonna grab that one. If I can, I gotta usually get them to shine. Oh, here's one under my thumb. We're gonna grab that and put it right here, the bottom. I'm gonna pull it a little tighter. There we go. And then I'm gonna trim off some of that excess. I'm gonna go on an angle here. Oh, that's too sharp an angle for me. And we'll come over here and we'll go on an angle. There we go. And now I have another card, a date to remember. We need to add on some of the gems. So let's grab those faceted gems one more time. Hi, Edie. Welcome. So I'm gonna grab more of my wonderful gems. I'm looking for my take your pick tool. I'm gonna lift up. I'm gonna put one right here to focus your eye toward the sentiment. Okay, my putty isn't gonna work right now. I'm gonna put one right there. I'm gonna use this one here. It's kind of a peachy one, and go right up here. And I think I'm just gonna go with those three. And actually, I didn't put any on my card, so I need to do that. So if you look, you really want to do your sentiment up a little bit higher. And I like it a little bit not so stamped off. I think I stamped off too hard. And I'm going to go ahead and add some of these gems over here to this. Oh, I think I'm going to go with that one there. I want a big one by the sentiment. So this is just, as its name, it's lovely and beautiful. I really, really like this particular card stamp set and the cards that we made with them. So there you go, a day to remember. And that could be for a good bridal shower or a wedding or whatever. So there's card number 3. So we're on to our last card. And let me show you this. I forgot to bling this one up too. All right, here's the last card. Whoops, there's my pin. Let me grab that so we don't lose it. And with the dog here, I don't want to drop the pin on the floor. I'm going to put that in. All right, this is our last card. It's really a different sizing of the card base, but not much different. I'll explain. So when I cut this paper for the card base, I took an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And on this side here, I cut off 1 1/4 inches. Okay, so trimmed it down to, 7 1/4. And then we cut it down to 5 1/2, and we scored it at 3 inches, and so it still fits into an envelope. So it's fun to have, and then this gives you a little peek of an inside piece of designer series paper. And then I'm going to show you how we decorated the front. So let me get started on this one. So the last card uses our old olive. I got all my parts out. And grab my card base. And I'm going to fold in. And it's not going to meet at the edges, but I'm going to line it up on the sides. And this is a great way to show, if you have, especially if you have 2 sides of your paper you like. I mean, that's pretty. That's pretty. But we're actually going to hook that onto there. But let's work on this first. We're going to go ahead and put this on. Oh, mine's a little too long. We'll trim it off. So this should be 5 1/4 inches, and this is 1 1/2 inches. So this is 1 3/4 inches. No, I don't remember now. Just, it'll be in the PDF, the correct directions. And so we're going to take and we're going to put an inside sentiment that says, simply the best. And we're going to use our old olive ink. And I think my old olive ink is avalanching over here in the corner. Okay, I found it. So, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp this right here, close to the edge, in the middle, simply the best. And then we're going to adhere this down. And if it goes over it, you're just going to slide it over, so just ever so slightly, so that you don't cover up your sentiment. So I'm just going to do this. And obviously I have too much on the top or the bottom, so I'm going to just do this, line it up with the top, run it down so it's straight, and then I'm going to trim off all the excess. Not with those scissors. Those are my ribbon scissors. Okay. Accident waiting to hop on with that ink. You got to remind me, Diane, move that ink. I know. And so I'm just going to trim this off. Of course, I put my adhesive over a little bit too far, but we're going to make it work here. And we're going to go ahead and cut this off. And throw these away. And now we have our insert ready. So yeah, I have a full PDF ready to go that will be emailed to you. That shows you, or has the directions, I'll show it to you in just a second, how to make all these cards and all the complete measurements. And we're going to put this beautiful, okay, let's which way do we want it to go? I'm going to do it this way. I want that big leaf in the corner there. Okay, we're going to lay that down there. Okay. And then next we're going to take back to our olive ink. You'll get a die cut like this. You can either just color it in with your blends, but I'm going to take our stamp and I'm going to, I'm going to have to stand up on this one because I'm sitting down, and see if I can line it up as best as I can. See how I did. Not too bad. And we use actually old olive ink. And we're going to use old olive blends, and we're going to blend out and create our leaves. So I'm going to take my bullet end of my old olive, and I'm going to just kind of go down the veins. And if you have your own way of doing blends, I'm by no means an expert in doing leaves and blending, but I like it. And what I've noticed is I am running low on my old olive light. Unfortunately, they both come in doubles, so I can just tell it's a little dry. So what I'm trying to do is do circular motions to break up and blend out that color so it's not like just so stark. Yep, I can hear. I'm gonna have to order. Of course, go figure, I just placed an order last night. And now I see that my old olive blends need to be replaced. Mine get a lot of use. I use them in my club when I'm in person, and I like to color. And this is a popular color. So I haven't had to replace, darn, in a long time. I did it first when I learned the hard way when I did some swaps and I had to color a whole bunch. I'm like, oh my goodness. I was coloring forever, and boy, did I use up the ink in my, so now I don't use lots of coloring on all my blends. So, oh, you know what we didn't do? We should add a green leaf to this. And I think we need to put a green leaf on inside too. So let's add a green leaf right here. And then where's that card? We need to add, we should have done that first before we adhered it. I'm gonna add another green leaf right here. And then we're going to grab our label, and we're going to take second generation. Well, this is second generation waiting to go, so I'm going to just go ahead and lightly set this down kind of on an angle. A little bit darker there, but that's fine. And now we're going to do the sentiment. So the sentiment is going back to that one that was, where's that happy birthday one? Right here. And this time we're going to use the happy birthday end of it. Not happy birthday to you. So I'm going to ink that up. And I did not put any ink on the to my. No, those blending pens are a little bit different. They're meant for watercolor. You could pull it in a little of the ink. Well, yeah, you could if you dip it into the ink. But I like my Stampin' Blends. I'm just saying I have to order a new set of old olive because that's a popular, you do a lot of greenery and that's all. So there's happy birthday. And then we're going to take the word, not mom, the word friend from that family celebration. And we're going to put that right here at the bottom. That's the script. Let that dry. And then we're going to adhere this to its mat. No, it's not going to adhere it to a mat. We don't have a green mat. I thought we did. So I'm going to take that off because we don't have any adhesive there. Okay. So we're going to use Stampin' Dimensionals, excuse me. And we're going to put those down. And in here, this to the front. But I'm only putting Stampin' Dimensionals on the back left so that when I turn it over, this won't stick to this part of the card. So let me remove the backings. So yeah, Edie, if you use a blending pen, I would take like, let me show you. One of our blender pens, I would have taken a block like this and put it onto the green ink so that I had some ink and then I could use the blender pen. But I prefer the alcohol markers to get the depth and definition. So, and I'm gonna go ahead and but that is a good substitution. And then I'm gonna tuck that somewhere inside there. Like that. Now, we have these really cool corners, and I'm gonna put this up in the corner. Oh, it covers my leaf. Maybe we'll put it, no, do we wanna put it down here? What if we put it up here? I actually have extras of these, that's why I went with gold. I'm gonna do it this way. All right, I'm gonna go a little crazy and rogue. Oops, I didn't poke out all those little pieces. I got some of those that aren't showing through. Okay, I'm gonna change it up a little bit. It's art. I'm gonna put one there, and then I'm gonna grab my dies, and I should have another one in here. I thought I had a third one. Great, I lose it. There it is. See, I was checking it out, and I created some extras, and so I'm gonna do 2 on this one. I don't want to cover that pretty gold leaf up. I didn't think about that. And I take it and we'll do opposite corners. So on the PDF, and let's do this first, poke out all those extras. Well, they all flicked out when I did that. Jeannie suggests to use white. Well, I had these gold already done. I'm like, well, and I was just testing it out. So I thought, well, what a great way to go ahead and figure that out. Okay. Yes, I know, it's a slow journey to get all the blends, but you just find one you like and then go. Of course, I think I put this on a little bit crooked, but there we go. We have Happy Birthday, Simply the Best for a Friend. That's card number 4. Let me get some of this stuff cleaned up here. Those backings. I have to vacuum later today anyways. So that's my weekly online card class. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a quick burnish. It's not staying closed very well. Okay, so we've got the 4th card. I got one more of those to play with. We did the envelopes. Let's see, we'll start way over here so I can see in the picture. Okay, and then we did my fun bracket card. And I don't know where that envelope went. Right here. So this was card number 2. And then we also did this card here. This calls for a celebration. And I think I lost that envelope. Nope. This one's the other one. Okay. And oh, here it is. We're gonna do that envelope there. And finally, the last card is flying way over there. I'm gonna do my first one, not the second one. I like how I have it more over in the corner. So there we have it. So those are the 4 card kits that I would send to you. Yes, I do. Oh, you can only get them by placing an order of $50 or more in my store. But hold on, Edie. Edie is a Stampin' Gem, and she's on my team, and she will have free access to these. I'm going to be starting a file. I'm on episode 3, and these PDFs will be available to my team for free. So if you're interested in joining Stampin' Up, you'll get the PDF to make cards, and that will be a weekly PDF, and then you have all those. So there we go. Let me show you how the PDF looks. It's very clear. It tells you the stamps and accessories and tools, your measurements, and then you have all your directions. Same thing, a great picture, and all your directions on how to make the card. And then I'll show you when we get to the last one. And the first time we put side notes in there, she actually used gold embossing powder but on the first one, but changed her mind and said that the crumb cake she felt looked a little bit better. So that's an option. You could do some heat embossing on this card, okay? And then the last card, if you look, Jeannie used the little corner in white. Well, I had the gold, and I thought, I'm going to use the gold. So there's all kinds of different interpretations that you can do to these cards and change it up. And I want you to have fun, and I want you to see new ways to make cards, maybe something will spark your creativity so you'll start making cards. And if you're on my team, like Edie is, and now Nancy is a sideline. She's actually on my friend Julie's team. So you'll get this, it'll be emailed, and so I'll be uploading this PDF to my Stampin' Gems Facebook page. And as a side note, we just found out Monday we're having a join special, and starting May 5th, you can join and you'll get a choice of adding the 5 new in colors. I don't think I have them all here, and I just banged my thing. Sorry, folks. I only have 2 of them right here. These are our new magnetic. You'll get all 5 of them. I only have 2 of them here, the hydrangea hue and the crisp cantaloupe. And which, by the way, goes really well with Calypso Coral and Petal Pink. But you can get all 5 of these free, plus your $125 worth of product of your choice for $99 plus tax. And that's great, great, great. So definitely. And then Carol, if she's interested in getting the PDF, she can place an order, any customer, $50 or more, and she would get this. So once a week I'm going to be having a new card class, so it's a way to get some new ideas. And I will also be selling, and I haven't got to this is a precursor because I haven't finished it yet, but we will have the PDFs available for $15 for purchase online. That's an option too. But if you place a $50 order for any product, you can get that emailed to you. That each week is the only time you can get it until I put them up into a PDF type of store, which I am working on. I do have a website, and it takes time. So thank you, Carol. Thank you, Edie. And so if you want to join the Stampin' Gems team, it's going to be a great special starting May 5th, only to May 31st. And you would be able to get all 5 of those ink pads. Yep, but it's what I was doing anyways. Edie said this will keep me busy, but yep, because I've got mystery cards, which I'm always making on a card, and it gives me some new things to do for you. But I really want to make sure I'm using all my product. I was finding that, let me turn my camera around, so you can look at me, not my cards. I was finding I wasn't having, I guess I felt like I wasn't using my product up enough. And, oh, thanks, Edie. And so really I share the load with a friend. I've collaborated with Jeannie, and great. So don't take a look. I'm getting ready to head to the pool. I need pool time. I have not been to the pool in like 3 weeks. So I need to go work on my tan, and a couple ladies that live here before they leave. We're going to go to the pool, and so we're going to spend some time there. So I'm sorry I haven't done fresh makeup, but I'm all cleaned up here. So, yeah, it's something fun and exciting. So you will see next week we are actually going to focus on, and where's my card? Well, I can tell you, I have crisp cantaloupe and Peaceful Pine are my two colors. And Jeannie is doing Hydrangea Hue, and she's doing the three colors, and I'm going to do a 3D project. And so next week there'll be 6 projects. And again, it'll be featuring all our new in colors as we come close to the launch of the new catalog, which is fabulous. I'm loving the new catalog. There's just so many products online. We just can't keep up with it. So this is a way to make sure we're getting the most out of our product and sharing with you all the new product. 'Cause until you play with it, you're like, oh wow, look at all that pretty gold. I love it. It's so shiny, and you see a new product. So yep, that's it. So from the Wednesday till the Tuesday night at midnight, this offer for Beautifully Celebrated is a free card kit. And then I'll send them out next Wednesday or sooner if you decide earlier. So that's it. So yeah, it's lots of fun. It's relaxing and fun, and I hope you enjoy your crafting. And I will email the PDF if you place an order of $50 more, and the kits will be sent to you free through U.S. Postal Office, sometimes UPS, depends on my shipping. And then finally, I do have a note here. My coffee, is that backwards to you? It says, join me for my coffee and cards, which I've been doing since 2018, every Friday at 10 a.m. And that's just my time to chit chat and show you, talked about things that are going on and Stampin' Up. I did today just because it came up. Yep, that was backwards. Anywho, so yeah, that's going on. And then Mondays and then Friday, I'll post the mystery clues. Those are already scheduled to go up. And you'll be able to have the weekend to prep for my Monday mystery, which is just a quick card, and it's fun. So I hope you all have a great Wednesday. I'm heading to the pool. They're waiting for me. I said I'll get there around 1 o'clock-ish. So I will see you later. I got to soak up all the sun before I have to head back to Michigan. I hear it's still cold up there. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to share this, like it, and I will upload this to YouTube, and I will send out that link too. So have a great day, and let me know if I can help you with any of your Stampin' Up! Needs. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Bye.